And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to takesbyfans.com/watch. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Already today's a big old Thursday. Well, I guess not too big because unfortunately Thursday night football has unfortunately ran out in the NFL. This week, no Thursday games. Everybody's playing Sunday and there is a Monday game. And then week 18, everybody plays on Sunday. No even late game Sunday. I think it's all 1s and 4s. So unfortunate. We're, dwindling down towards the end of the season, which is, good and bad. Bad, obviously, we get less games. We don't get the Thursday game. Saturday games are done. Those Saturday games, I guess we do get playoff Saturday games. So, all right. So we still got Saturday games to look forward. Saturday, Sunday. That's going to be nice. It isn't like super wildcard weekend Monday. So, okay, this week, next week, we lose a little bit of football days, but then we gain football days, less games. So, does it come out as a wash? No, because it's less football overall. So, no Thursday football today. Womp, womp. But I do believe that there's still bowl games on today, bowl games on tomorrow, the good ones on tomorrow. So, there's still stuff to watch, and there's still basketball on tonight that we can bet on. So, today on the show, NBA Daily 10, breaking down the NBA of what just happened yesterday. We got to predict and react to the week 17 lines. Potential great value. We got a lot of teams do or die, must win this week. How is that going to affect the line? And once again, this could be a great week to get great value. We'll see if Vegas is going to be disrespectful again this week. We don't see why not. They're disrespectful every day here, so I'm sure we can find some great value. So that's what we've got today on the show. And then if we have time, we will walk through playoff matchups. If not, we will definitely 100%, folks, get to that on tomorrow's show, 100%. So let's put 10 minutes on this clock here and start with the NBA. So here we go. Next 10 minutes, uninterrupted basketball talk of what just happened yesterday in the NBA. So here we go. 10 minutes on the clock, and the 10 minutes start right now. Already tons of games on in the NBA last night. We had 2 bets going. In one bet, man, oh man, I'm kicking myself. We didn't take. The value was there. Hindsight value was there, folks. We'll talk about it when we get to that matchup. But here we go. First game up, Knicks at the Pistons, and the Knicks get it done, winning 94-85. But just another kind of lackluster overall offensive performance. I mean, what is this? The last 2 games, the Knicks are struggling to put up over 100 points. So just a little interesting to kind of keep in mind as we track this Knicks team. So they get it done last night. Nobody great in the starting lineup besides RJ Barrett. He put up 15 points. We had Kemba Walker starting, but only played 19 minutes. Most of the bench got most of the production last night. So Kemba Walker, remember, we had those kind of 2 holiday games. His first game back, and then kind of that Christmas Day game he went off. But then he's back to classic Kemba Walker. So, we've still don't. The Knicks aren't going to win. I'll put it like this. The Knicks won't win the ring with Kemba Walker as their one. They won't get to the conference finals with Kemba Walker as the one. They may get a playoff spot. I mean, what's their seeding right now, folks? What do you got them at? Let's refresh this. I don't even know if they're in the top. Oh my goodness, they're not even in the top 10. Holy cow. So this is bad no, they are number 9. I apologize. They are in the top 10, but at number 9. So a play-in team, they're probably looking at maybe like a 6, 7, 8 seed. Nothing great. So this Knicks team, they've got to do something about Kemba. I don't think he had 2 good games. That's all we can really say about him. So Kemba Walker last night, 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds in 19 minutes of play. Like we said, most of the bench gave all the production last night. Emmanuel Quickly, 18 big old points, and Alec Burks led the team in scoring by a mile, 34 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, enough to get it done for the Knicks last night. And then for the Pistons, no Jeremy Grant in a potential trade here. I'm hearing maybe the Lakers will try to make a move for Jeremy Grant. That would be an interesting scenario, but no Jeremy Grant last night for the Pistons. Hamidou Diallo filling in for him at the 4 and had a fantastic night. Jeremy Grant-esque numbers, 100%. 31 points, 4 steals, 4 assists, 13 rebounds. Fantastic night. He shot 68% as well. Holy moly. And then Sadiq Bey, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. So those two got it done. And then the third leading highest scorer for the Pistons was Derek Walton Jr. with 8 points. So this is why the Pistons lose, folks. There is no depth here at all, and it came through last night. So Knicks get the win, 94-85. Alrighty, here we go. Next game up, and this was that value, hindsight value that we should have taken. If we can ever invent a time machine to go back in time, this is the only game I care about that we should have bet. Damn it, and I apologize. You know, it is my job to point out the great value and the disrespectful value, and I dropped the ball last night, folks, and I apologize 100%. We won't drop the ball again today, folks. We will find that value, I guarantee it. I am out here, and I got to redeem myself for not getting this one right last night. Hornets at the Pacers. Hornets were getting 3 points, and it's against the Pacers. Dang it. And the Hornets get the big ol' win here by 8, 116-108. When I watching this game and seeing that halftime score, I was like, dang. I really beefed it. And then they closed out the game, and that's when it set in. I truly beefed it. So, unfortunate. I apologize. I will do better, folks. So here we go. Hornets get the win, 116-108 over the Pistons. Or the Pacers, excuse me, over the Pacers. Both trash. P's teams, both trash. But here we go for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, 21 points, 9 assists, 12 rebounds. Love watching this man play basketball, folks. So freaking great. So talented, athletic. His passing, sheesh, I love it. Terry Rozier, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks all over the place. We had Mason Plumlee, 8 points, 12 rebounds, getting it done. And Jalen McDaniels, 12 points. And Gordon Hayward, 18 points. So everybody in the starting lineup was getting it done. And then we got Kelly Oubre Jr. off the bench, 13 points. That's all we ask for him is double-digit points off the bench, and he definitely gets us that every single night. So everything is clicking here for the Hornets. They are officially good, folks. We know this. Ever since LaMelo Ball came back, he's all good now. This team's right back on track of where they were early on in the season. And then for the Pacers, we had Sabonis still playing the 5 here, 15 points, 18 rebounds. Unfortunately, still a -5 on the floor. We had Karis LeVert led the team in scoring with 27 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Everybody else in the starting lineup had solid nights. Chris Duarte, 11 points, 4 assists. Miles Turner, 14 points, 5 rebounds. And Justin Holiday, 12 points, 4 rebounds. And they also had a great bench contribution from O'Shea Brissett, 14 points, 5 rebounds. So once again, the numbers for the Pacers look good, but they lose games. They're a little bit like the Minnesota Vikings of the NFL, folks. Stats are good. Playmakers are pretty solid for the most part, but they don't win the games. They don't win the big games, and they're just overall a team you forget about if you don't actively look for this team. So Pacers lose another one here, 116-108. Alrighty, next game up here, Celtics and the Clippers here. Clippers get the win, 91-82. Still no Paul George for the Clippers, and they get the win. That's not a good look for the Celtics team, losing against a Paul George-less Clippers team. Man, oh man. So Terrence Mann still filling in at the 3 for Paul George, 17 points on 63% shooting and a +19 on the floor. We will take that all day. And then Marcus Morris leading the team in scoring with 23 big ol' points, 10 rebounds. Eric Bledsoe filling in at the 1, 17 points, 4 assists. Very well done. A +24 on the floor in 31 minutes. Yes, sir. And then Luke Kennard, 17 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, truly getting it done as well. And then for the Celtics, still no Jason Tatum, so Jaylen Brown playing the 3, 30 points, 8 rebounds, and Jaylen Brown has no problem scoring, folks. I mean, he jacked up 36 shots last night. Jeez Louise. 1 of 13 from the 3 as well. Yikes. But overall, still only a -2 on the floor. Not bad overall. And then we had Robert Williams with 16 points, 14 rebounds, and those two players, Jaylen Brown and Robert Williams, were the only players in double-digit scoring. No Marcus Smart last night, no Dennis Schroeder, just nobody out there for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown trying his damnedest, but you're not going to win with just one superstar in this league. So the Clippers get the win, 91-82 on the road. All right, then we get the Hawks at the Bulls, and the Bulls big win here, winning 131-117 over the Hawks. Still no Lonzo Ball for the Bulls, but Kobe White is getting it done. So, once again, we classified Lonzo Ball as kind of like the fourth option here of the big four of the Bulls: Zach LaVine, Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, then Lonzo Ball, and Kobe White's filling in perfectly for him. So, no disrespect to Lonzo Ball, but he's not the one that's truly making this Bulls team tick. It's truly DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, and then you got Vucevic down low grabbing 20 boards last night, 16 points, 20 rebounds, absolutely fantastic. And Kobe White, 17 points, 12 assists. He shot 42%, 3 of 9 from 3. I mean, that's what Lonzo Ball shoots, and he has double-digit assists. That's kind of what Lonzo Ball does. I don't know how many times this season he's had double-digit assists, but everyone loves Lonzo Ball for his passing. I like LaMelo's ball's passing a little bit better than Lonzo's, but here we are. Bulls getting it done, 130-plus points without Lonzo Ball. He's not the guy that makes this team tick. He's still a solid player. I don't want to knock Lonzo Ball, but overall, he's not the main guy here. So DeMar DeRozan, 20 points, 8 assists. Vucevic, will repeat these numbers because they're so gosh dang good. 16 points, 20 rebounds. And then Zach LaVine, 25 points, 5 assists, absolutely fantastic. Kobe White again, I'll repeat them because they're fantastic. 17 points, 12 assists. And then Javonte Green to round out the starters, 14 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, all getting it done. And then the bench here, man, oh man, getting it done. Das Numu, 14 points, and then Tyler Cook, 10 points. So getting it done deep, the big four for the Bulls is one of the best starting lineups in the league, honestly. Honestly, it is. Yeah, I would probably, it could be number one best lineup in the league. Early on, it was 76ers. I love that lineup. A little bit, got to get back with the chemistry and all that. But overall, I would say the Bulls have the best. The Suns is pretty good too. They've got top 5. Let's classify it as that. Top 5 starting lineup in the league is the Bulls. And then for the Hawks last night, Trae Young, 26 points, 11 assists. Clint Capella, 18 points, 15 rebounds. Cam Reddish, 14 points. Chaundi Brown Jr., 16 points. And then some solid bench production by Malcolm Hill, 13 points. And Cameron Oliver, 13 points as well. I mean, they put up 117 points. Just unfortunately, that defense wasn't there last night. So Clint Capella and Trae Young couldn't kind of lead the B squad to a win. And the Bulls win 131-117. All right, then we get the Lakers at the Grizzlies here. One of our picks last night, and shame on us, folks. Whenever we take a back-to-back, just disregard everything we say. We are never taking a back-to-back for the rest of the year. Now, the Lakers were on the back-to-back. The Grizzlies weren't, so we thought we could get away with that, and we couldn't. We bet the Grizzlies -6, and they only win by 5. So once again, that 1 point last night, or 2 nights ago, we lost by 1.5 points. Now this night, we lose by 1 point, folks. It's just like that. We hit our other bet, Jazz -7. We hit that one. But Grizzlies here winning by 5. We bet them -6. Unfortunate. That is our 10 minutes, but we still got a lot to go over. So let's quickly run through the rest of these games here and get to the value for tonight's games. So Lakers lose 99-104. And yeah, I know. We have this conversation almost every day, every year. Russell Westbrook, the poor turnovers, the unfortunate play in the big circumstances. And we saw that last night. Here's the clip right here. Grizzlies up 3, 197 with 2 minutes left, and this score stayed like this for like a minute and a half, folks. 197, and the Lakers needed to get some points during this stretch, and we get Russell Westbrook going coast to coast, grabbing the rebound, pushing the floor, and then driving, but misses the easy layup at the rim. I mean, come on, Russell Westbrook. I hate knocking Russell Westbrook. It's one of the things that drives me crazy because the effort is there, obviously. He gives the most effort I have ever seen from any professional sports athlete ever across any sport. It's Russell Westbrook with the biggest engine of any athlete, but he's got no rings, and a lot of people don't like playing with him, and everybody clowns him in the media. Everybody clowns him in social media, and I get it, folks. I don't like to be a part of it, but I mean, man, oh man, the Lakers, they are struggling to just be relevant this year with all the injuries, with the lackluster supporting cast that's not panning out as well as everybody had really hoped at the beginning of the season, and they are currently fighting for playoff life here at the 7th seed in the Western Conference, which at the current moment is a play-in tournament seed. So they've got to do something. Russell Westbrook, you've got got to just tone it down. You've got to rein it in. That's all you need to do is just rein it in a tad, and you'd be one of the greatest players in the league. But he doesn't do that. It hurts him last night. LeBron's been on an absolute tear here, like literally all season, but like especially like the last 10 games. Man, oh man, LeBron last night, 37 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, doing it all here, shooting 25 shots last night. He shot 8 of 14 from 3, folks. He was on it all night last night. Unfortunately, nobody else can help him in the clutch, help him down late in games, and it's absolutely hurting this Lakers team. Russell Westbrook, 16 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. It's all fantastic. 5 turnovers, not the greatest. We have Malik Monk back in the starting lineup, or still in the starting lineup, I should say. It's 15 points, 3 rebounds. He was a plus 12 on the floor in 31 minutes. Real solid. I think he needs to demand the ball a little bit more. I want all the shots Russell Westbrook takes, I want them given to Malik Monk, but that would require Russell Westbrook to look in the mirror and tone it down, and we know he doesn't. So Lakers come up a little bit small, and then the Grizzlies getting it done. Ja Morant, 41 points, 10 rebounds. Fantastic. Desmond Bane, 20 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., 15 points. And once again, Steven Adams. Ja Morant playing maybe a little bit more free here, not having Valanciunas tying up kind of that 5. We know Valanciunas is a little bit ball dominant here, and Steven Adams is the opposite of ball dominant big. 4 points on 2 shots, still getting 6 rebounds in 26 minutes, still being kind of that defensive anchor down low, getting it done. So Grizzlies get the win, 104-99. All right, then we get the Thunder at the Suns. Suns blow them out, 115-97. Who got it done for the Suns? Devin Booker, 38 big ol' points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Chris Paul, only 10 points and 5 assists. That's all he needed to do last night. JaVale McGee still playing the 5 with DeAndre Ayton out, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Fantastic. And then this bench contribution from Jalen Smith, 11 points, 14 rebounds, and Cameron Payne, 16 big ol' points, enough for the Suns last night. And then for the Thunder, Luguentz Dort still playing the 2. No Shai Gilgeous-Alexander last night, and that's the biggest thing. I'll shout out Ty Jerome for filling in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 24 points, 8 rebounds, and then Luguentz Dort, only 9 points on 16% shooting. I mean, man, oh man, we need Luguentz Dort to step up. When there's no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out on the floor, Luguentz Dort, this is your team, and you must get it done. Minus 14 on the floor, one of the worst plus minuses on the team, getting blown out, double digits, 18 points right there, nothing great, and the Suns get the win. Then we get the Jazz at the Blazers. This is the bet that we hit last night. Jazz minus 7. They win by 15. Easy peasy here for the Jazz. Rudy Gobert dominated attack, led the team in scoring, 22 points, 14 rebounds. We had Mike Conley, 15 points, and Bogdanovich, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Fantastic. Off the bench, our favorite bench to talk about, Hassan Whiteside, 15 points, 11 rebounds in 19 minutes. Love Hassan Whiteside. Jordan Clarkson, 19 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 50% on 16 shots. He took the most shots in the game coming off the bench. That is classic Jordan Clarkson. And then Rudy Gay, 21 big old points on 61% shooting off the bench. I know we just said today that which team was it? The Bulls. The Bulls have one of the best starting lineup, top 5 starting lineups in the league. Well, we know this Jazz team is definitely number 1 in the depth here. Love talking about this bench. Jazz, folks, don't sleep on them. They can make a run if they all stay healthy. That's really what wins championships in the NBA. Longevity and health. And the Jazz, if they all stay healthy, there is 10 players on a nightly basis that can be substituted in the starting lineup, honestly. So, Jazz get the big O win here, 120-105. And then the last game of the night, the Mavericks at the Kings. And man, oh man, Metu Chimezie, folks, for the win. Down 1 point here. De'Aaron Fox kicks it to a wide open Metu, and he drains a 3. What kind of defense is this by the Mavericks? Last possession, and you let this man in the corner be wide open. The big collapses on De'Aaron Fox. Great vision by De'Aaron Fox to make that swing, and that's just wide open. You've got to make that. It's literally wide open, folks. Nobody is near this man. Everybody's in the paint looking at this man, hoping he misses, and he says, I don't miss. Don't disrespect me saying I miss. What, are you crazy? So he hits the 3. The Kings get the win, 95-94. For the Mavericks, still no Luka Doncic, so it's Porzingis trying to do it all himself. 24.7 rebounds. Jalen Brunson filling in for Luka Doncic at the 25.6 rebound or 6 assists, and that was really everybody that did good by the Mavericks. We got Isaiah Thomas playing back in the league, like seeing that. 6 points, 4 assists on 13 minutes off the bench, 37% shooting. It's not bad. We'll see if he can kind of get that conditioning there to see if maybe he can be a bigger force on this Mavericks team. We'll see. And then for the Kings, getting it done. Obviously, we got to shout out Chimezie Metu coming off the bench. 11 points, 8 rebounds, hit the game winner. You got to love it. Buddy Hield, 1 of 4 from the 3. Little uncharacteristic by the man, only 3 points. In the starting lineup, De'Aaron Fox, 16 points and 3 assists, one game-winning assist as well. And then Tyrese Haliburton, 12 points, 10 assists. Raquan Holmes at the 5, 8 points, 6 rebounds, and then Harrison Barnes with a nice 14 points. Also, Davion Mitchell, one of his best games of the season, folks. 14 big old points coming off the bench. Solid by him. So the Kings get the 1-point win, 95-94. All right, that was all the NBA from last night. Let's see if we can make a little bit of money in the NBA tonight, and hopefully we don't lose by a point or a point and a half. Let's get it going here. Over the last 2 days, we have lost a total of combined 2.5 points for 4 games, folks. We picked 4 games over the last 2 days, and we've lost it by a combined of 2.5 points. Unfortunate. So let's find where that real great value is today, and let's not have any value remorse when we do tomorrow's show, shall we? So here we go, just 4 games on tonight. Here we go, first one up, 76ers at the Nets. 76ers plus 5.5, Nets minus 5.5. Kyrie Irving is back, but he can't play in Brooklyn, so still no Kyrie tonight. Who else is here for the Nets? It's basically everybody good to go here. Just the usual suspects out, Joe Harris and Kyrie Irving out for the Nets. And then for the 76ers, Danny Green is out, and Shake Milton is a game-time decision. We just told y'all we can't bet back-to-backs anymore. The Nets didn't play last night, so yeah, I'm bugging. We can take this game. 76ers plus 5.5, seeming like good value. This Nets team is still a little lacking at the 5 department. I do like Nicholas Claxton, but I mean, compared to Joel Embiid, I mean, do we even need to say it? I mean, one's a big beefy man, and the other one's not even close to anything remotely beefy. Now, Kevin Durant may sneak down to the 5, but maybe he won't because this is kind of his first game back. So 76ers plus 5.5, seeming like solid value. Man, let's stay away from it. I think it's like right on the borderline of good value. Let's check out these 3 other games, and then we'll come back to this one if we need. Next game up, Bucks at the Magic. Bucks minus 14, Magic plus 14. We're not going to swallow all those points here. Bucks on the road, and we know there's no bettability on the Magic. Then we get the Cavs at the Wizards. Now this could be the great value. Cavs plus 3.5, Wizards minus 3.5. I'm expecting some outs here with the Cavs. Hopefully Jared Allen is back, but if everybody's good to go, we'll love this Cavs team plus 3.5 points. Ricky Rubio, we just learned, is out for the season. Tore his ACL. Big, unfortunate news for this Cavs team. We get C.D. Osman, a game-time decision. Jared Allen is a game-time decision. And Darius Garland is out, though. Man, oh, man. If Darius Garland was playing, we would take that. Jared Allen out there by his lonesome with no Ricky Rubio. I mean, now you're down your top 3 guards. So I love Jared Allen. Oh, who's out for this Wizards team? If Bradley Beal is still out, then maybe we can still take this. Maybe it would still be good value. We forgot to look at the ins and outs here for the Wizards. Bradley Beal, game-time decision. Montrezl Harrell out, though. Raul Neto is out. Rui Hachimura is out. KCP, a game-time decision. Man, oh man, a little bit of too many question marks for me. We'll stay away from it. And then the last game of the night, which once again may be great value. We may be able to take this one. Here we go. Warriors at the Nuggets. Warriors on the road, only minus 5.5 points. Nuggets plus 5.5. Y'all know there's no bettability on this Nuggets team. Draymond Green is still out. Damn it. Damian Lee is out, and James Wiseman is still out. And then for the Nuggets, we get Aaron Gordon a game-time decision, so we'll see if he's back in the starting lineup here and playing good to go. And Jeff Green is also out, so Warriors minus 5.5. Steph Curry out there by his lonesome, should be able to handle this Nuggets team. So all these values are right on the borderline of good value. For the Cavs, I want kind of like 5 points plus 5, not plus 3.5. For the 76ers, I kind of really want plus 7, not 5.5. 5.5. And then for the Warriors, I would like only to swallow like 3.5, not 5.5. So everything is right on that cusp of great value. We've got to take a game tonight, folks. We've got to take a game tonight. Which game are we going to be thinking and kicking ourselves at halftime that we should have taken? I'm going to give it to the 76ers, folks. They have kind of started to get there. We just had their first kind of big blowout win the other night since everybody was kind of back in the starting lineup. They just kind of went down to the wire against the Raptors in their last game, but 2 games ago destroying the Wizards 117-96. So we're going to take the 5.5 here for the 76ers tonight. Joel Embiid dominates down low, and that is the story of the game. So 76ers plus 5.5 is our official pick tonight. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to cover for today. So now let's head over to the NFL and start predicting and talking through the Week 17 games, predicting the lines, and seeing if there's any great value this week. There's only 2 more weeks of tons of games on, folks. 16 games on for the next 2 weeks. And then after that, we get playoffs, and it's 2 games on Saturday, or I think it's going to be like 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, then a game Monday, 2 games Monday, because it is Super Wild Card Weekend, extra team, and all that. So let's start talking about Week 17 here in the NFL and see where that value is, folks. We got to get that value. Only 2 more weeks to take advantage of, folks, and then we have to wait months, 8 months, 7 months for that value to return. So got to make it count while it's here, folks, and that is what we are here to do. Make it count. So here we go. Like we said at the top of the show, unfortunately, no Thursday night games anymore for the regular season. So no Thursday night game, no game tonight. So we're heading right into the Sunday slate of games. Here we go. First one up, Eagles at Washington. In a big game here for the Eagles to try and keep their playoff spot there at that 7th seed in the NFC. And this Washington team got a little exposed last week against that Cowboys Walk of Fame defense that absolutely obliterated Taylor Heineke. And then when they were done obliterating Taylor Heineke, they obliterated him some more just for good measure. So we kind of lost a little bit of trust, a little bit of value, a little bit of buyability in Washington and Taylor Heineke just in general. We know this Eagles defense is good. The offense is so consistent. Off to a, geez, how does that go? They were off to a slow start. There it is. They were off to a slow start last week against the Giants, but then that second half, everything was clicking and they did not look back. I can see maybe the same situation happening here since it is a division rival, but overall, this Eagles team should be able to get it done. Make Washington kind of 100% out of the playoff mix. I think they're still kind of hovering a little bit around in and out. They would need to win out in a lot of help. I don't see that happening, and unfortunate for Taylor Heineke getting banged up. Is he going to be good to go? We know he kind of got taken out of the game there last week. Let's see if he's a game time decision or anything. It doesn't really matter. We're still liking what we're getting here for the Eagles, regardless of who's quarterbacking. But what do we got with Taylor Heineke? On the injury report, do we see him? We do not see him. So he's going to be good to go, but I'm sure he's going to be having flashbacks and PTSD. And, you can't test these Eagles corners, this week either, because you got Darius Slay there at the cornerback position ready to do what the entire Cowboys defense was doing to Taylor Heineke, kicking him off, getting to him, sacking him. So I'm loving the Eagles here this week. I'm going to call this one Eagles minus 5.5 here on the road. This Eagles offense, folks, when it clicks, and it doesn't slow down. The run, the pass, Jalen Hurts is getting it done. And man, oh man, we can't say enough good things about this Eagles team, folks. Remember, Super Bowl contenders. That's what we believe this Eagles team is. So we'll predict this one, Eagles minus 5.5. Alrighty, next game up here, and this is a big game, really, for both teams. Rams at Ravens here. Ravens need this game right here to try and get back into the playoff spot. They need to win, and they also kind of need the Dolphins to start losing again. We'll see if that happens, knock on wood. So Ravens going with Lamar Jackson. I don't know, because there was a little bit of film out yesterday. Somebody, I think, snuck a camera into practice. Do I have the tweet? Yes, I do. I knew I liked it right here. Here we go. Lamar Jackson finally practicing yesterday, and look at this man limp, folks. He is limping. He can't even move. He can't even jog without limping. The coach here, I'm assuming that's the quarterback coach right there, is out jogging. He's out jogging Lamar Jackson right here, just not comfortable on that ankle. And Lamar Jackson, he needs his ankles because obviously he's a dual threat quarterback. So I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to be good to go here. I think you have to start Tyler Huntley again, which is good. We can believe and rely on Tyler Huntley. I mean, he can get it done here for this Ravens team. So Lamar Jackson a little hobbled out here, definitely going to hurt him, and this Rams team is kind of streaking a little bit. Had a little bit of a step back last week, going kind of close down to the wire against the Vikings, but that's just classic Vikings games just in general. You can't really look that closely into close games with the Vikings because they always lose, and we all know the story about the Vikings. They're the anomaly of the NFL. Stats always look good, but they don't win games. So Rams going close with the Vikings doesn't leave a bad taste in our mouth or anything like that. Cooper Kupp is absolutely still obliterating defenses. And Sony Michel, folks, this is one of the most underrated narratives of the season, folks. Sony Michel is saving the season for the Rams here. They are getting one of their running backs back this week. We'll see if he plays or not, but regardless, the running game will be fantastic for the Rams, and Matthew Stafford's having one of his best, I would say his best season ever. So Rams defense is great. Jalen Ramsey's getting it done, and then with that banged up ankle of Lamar Jackson running away from Aaron Donald, he's not going to be able to stay out there for that long. So let's see, is Tyler Huntley good to go here? Do they have to rely on their third string quarterback again this week? Let's quickly see what their injury report is looking like here. Tyler Huntley is good to go. So at least you've got a solid backup. We can rely on him. He's as good, or I guess we can't say as good. He is kind of a little bit of a knockoff version of the Ravens Lamar Jackson, but that's fine. The knockoff is almost as good sometimes. You buy the store brand, it's almost as good as the name brand sometimes here, and that's what the Ravens are working with. But overall, Lamar Jackson does have that kind of go out and win it factor, so that is something that I don't know if Tyler Huntley has. All right, so we're going to predict this one. Rams -6.5 here on the road. It's just watching Lamar Jackson out here. He's not going to be able to go. Hopefully we get it right under that 7-point hook, so a touchdown wins it for the Rams, which we can definitely see happening. We win the bet. So we'll predict this one, Rams -6.5. I know this Ravens team is fighting for that playoff spot. They really need to win out to get in. We'll see if it happens. I don't know, with the banged up Lamar. All right, next game up here, and we don't even have to spend any time on this game. Bucs at the Jets. Bucs instantly dominate the Jets, no question. They can't even score in the second half. That's really it. The Jets can't score in the second half. They scored in the second half against the Jags. That's the only team that they can score in the second half against. Congratulations. This Bucs team just trying to shore up playoff positioning and all that. Tom Brady just trying to get right. Has been a little clunky this season. A lot of interception game, like multiple interception games, which we saw last season as well. He overcame it because he's the GOAT. We get Tom Brady getting shut out a couple weeks ago, but, facing the Panthers last week truly woke him up. Tom Brady still has, vengeances, and not vengeances that need to be avenged, just vengeances against the AFC East because he's been dominating them his entire career and doesn't want to look like a clown now that he's kind of out of the division. He still wants to kind of be, swinging his dick around in the division. Be like, yeah, I'm in the NFC now, but, these are my old stomping grounds, and I still got to kind of, assert my dominance. So Bucks should be able to get it done here. No problem, folks. We'll call this one Bucks. We'll go a little disrespectful with it. Bucks minus 16. Yeah, Bucks minus 6. Well, I mean, it probably isn't Bucks minus 16 because there's no way that this spread should be higher than last week against Carolina. So honestly, this is our prediction, Bucks minus 16. But if we're going on what Vegas just did last week, it shouldn't be any higher than Bucks minus 12. I think the line was kind of Bucks minus 11, 11.5, maybe hovering toward 12 in the beginning of the week against the Panthers last week. So we'll call it Bucks minus 16, but it's probably around Bucks minus 11, 12 because that's what Vegas did last week against the Panthers, and this Jets team is better than the Panthers. We know the Panthers are trash. The Jets are trash as well, but they are less trash overall than the Panthers. So Bucks minus 16, Bucks minus 12. We'll see what Vegas puts it at. Alrighty, next game up here, and we may be able to get some great value here, folks. Vegas has been absolutely disrespecting the Dolphins all season long, even last week when they were on their 6-game winning streak and all that, and the Saints were on their 4th-string quarterback. They still only made it Dolphins minus 3, folks. We told y'all it should have been Dolphins minus 10, and they win by 17. So, I mean, come on, stop disrespecting them. So, Dolphins on the road here against Tennessee. Huge, gigantic, humongous matchup here for really both teams. Titans just kind of wanting to, stay a good team in the eyes of the media optically. Winning at home can definitely do that. And this Dolphins team wanting to continue their winning streak. They really need to win out to secure that playoff spot. They've got it. So if they win out, they get it. If they go 1-1, they can still get it if the Broncos and Chargers go 1-1. But if the Ravens go kind of 2-0 while the Dolphins go 1-1, the Ravens will get that final spot. So really must win down the stretch here for a lot of AFC teams, and the Dolphins are really no different. So Dolphins must win. We know this defense has just been absolutely obliterating everybody. And once again, that's going to be the story of this game, in my opinion. Ryan Tannehill is struggling without Derrick Henry. That is clear to see. And now these receivers are kind of re-banged up again. Unfortunate. So Dolphins defense are making everybody pay. Quarterbacks pay. Running backs pay. It doesn't matter. And Ryan Tannehill has just not been the guy this year to single-handedly win the game himself without Derrick Henry in the backfield, and that's where the defense of the Dolphins comes into play. Dolphins, Ryan Tannehill, they have history with each other. Obviously, one wants to get the upper leg, the upper hand on the other. So we'll see how that narrative plays out, but overall it's going to be this Dolphins defense, I think, taking it to Ryan Tannehill, and we see it, all the time. Tua can get it done in the clutch in the second half. It doesn't matter. He can go out there and win the games based on what the defense does. So I'm going to call this one Dolphins minus 2.5 here on the road against the Titans. We'll see. We might be able to get Dolphins plus 3 here if Vegas puts it right on the spread line. Maybe even Dolphins plus 4, 5, 6 potentially as well. We'll see. And if we ever get any points by the Dolphins, half a point, 1 point, blue point, red point, it's the best value of the week. So Dolphins minus 2.5 is our official pick, our official prediction. All right, then we get the Jags and the Patriots, and once again, we don't have to spend too much time on this one. Mac Jones, a little bit of not a bad performance. It was still solid. I think, once again, y'all are putting way too much blame on Mac Jones himself than the overall just kind of lackluster pieces of the Patriots offense. It's solid pieces, but like we said, they're all tier 2. They've got no A1, tier 1 piece on that team, not even an A1 piece. It's all tier 2 pieces, surrounded by Mac Jones. Now he's making, definitely great do with it, don't get me wrong, but a little bit last week, struggling a little bit. Now, you've got the Jaguars here at home. This is going to be easy peasy. Trevor Lawrence can't convert third down, and he can't even win the game when he's on the 1-yard line, right in his face. The win was right in his face, and he said, no, I'm good. We're good with the 2 wins. Hey, team, show of hands. We good with the 2 wins here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're good with the 2 wins here. We'll try to get it next year. So, Patriots, obviously, they want to win to kind of get the bad taste out of their mouth for the loss last week against the Bills and all that. So, Patriots should really dominate this Jaguars team just defensively, and Mac Jones should have a good field position throughout this entire game where he has great stats, and people are once again talking about Mac Jones as, rookie of the year and all that. So we'll call this one Patriots -10 at home here against the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence will put up no points. So, that's, if you got to swallow 20, you can swallow 20 because the Jaguars will not put up any points, and I think the Patriots can definitely win by like 20-0, easy peasy. So we'll officially predict the Patriots -10, and we'll just await to see how many points we have to swallow according to Vegas. All right, then we get the Raiders at the Colts here. All righty, should be, a good game. We'll truly see what this Raiders team is made of. They won last week to try. I think they're a little trying to keep up here in the playoff race. I believe they can still get in. They need a ton of help. They need a win out, so their backs are against the wall, and we'll see what Derek Carr and company is made out of. Now, for this Colts team, they've just been running the ball here the last couple of weeks, and that is definitely getting our seal of approval on Frank Reich in this Colts offense. You all know how we feel about that. This Colts defense is very, very good as well, folks. I would say you could definitely classify it as top 5 defense in the league, and maybe you can make the argument, if you made the argument, I would probably agree that the Colts are probably top 3 defense in the NFL, and that doesn't bode well for this Raiders team going on the road, back against the wall. We know they flounder at the end of the season, even last week against the Broncos. It didn't look like a good win, close game overall. So we'll call this one Colts -6.5 here. We may be able to tell a little bit more about the spread with what Vegas puts it at, because Carson Wentz may not be good to go. He's a true game time decision. The earliest he can come back from COVID protocols is like Sunday morning, so it's truly going to be game time decision. The entire offensive line is good to go now. Last week they overcame that. All the offensive line out on COVID, the starters out on COVID, so they're all back. So it's truly just going to come down to Carson Wentz. But if Carson Wentz plays or doesn't play, that doesn't make any difference according to our value, because we don't want Carson Wentz throwing the ball anyway. So maybe, I know Vegas definitely counts Carson Wentz in the value, folks. We don't, but Vegas does. So we'll see what the value is to see if Vegas is leaning towards Carson Wentz out, not out. We'll see what the spread is. So we'll call it like this, just so we can truly kind of gauge if Vegas is leaning one way or the other with the Carson Wentz in and out. So we'll call this one with Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz is playing, I'll call this one Colts -8. Colts -8 at home. Without Carson Wentz, we'll call this one Colts -5.5. So we'll see which one's closer according to Vegas, and we'll see if we can decipher the line a little bit more. All right, next matchup up here, Chiefs at the Bengals, and this is a big game for both these teams. Obviously, both in the same, Bengals trying to wrap up their division. Colts trying to stay the number 1 seed in the AFC in totality. Bengals and Joe Burrow coming off one of his best games ever. But once again, we watched the film, and we're not knocking Joe Burrow. I don't want to take anything away from Joe Burrow, but, all those passes were wide open, you know what I mean? He had 2 big, deep balls, one absolutely on the money, the other one kind of a jump ball-ish in double coverage. So once again, I'm not taking anything away from Joe Burrow, but let's put the, put it in context a little bit. I don't know if he can do it against his Chiefs defense. But either way, Bengals coming off of a big win. We've got to see if they can get it done. Remember, they were coming off, I believe, a big win, and then they faced the Chargers, and they kind of stunk it up, turned the ball over, couldn't get it done, and they lost that game. And that Chargers team is, playoff contenders. So this is going to be a big game for the Bengals at home, facing the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl winners on that squad. Bengals just, finally good the last 2 seasons, finally relevant here, and we'll see if Zach Taylor and company can, keep the offensive production fantastic like it was last week, keep the deep bombs going to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and all that, and, maybe have this Chiefs team on the road. So this is going to be a great one, probably the best matchup here in the 1 o'clock window, and we'll see if this Bengals team is ready to compete for a championship or not. This is truly going to decide if this Bengals team can get moved into Super Bowl contender. If they look really, really good here against the Chiefs, get the win and all that, we'll convert them to Super Bowl contenders here for the Bengals. So this one's close, folks. I'm going to call this one Chiefs -1, folks. That's what I'm going to put it at. Close game all throughout, and we'll say it at Chiefs -1. Alrighty, here we go. Next matchup up. Giants at the Bears here. Two bad teams all throughout. Matt Nagy's coaching these last two games. The Giants can't move the ball offensively. Nick Foles, is he playing this week? Does it matter? Do we care? It's against the Giants. So two bad teams that we stay away from. Bears -3. That's our official pick. No, none of these teams can make the playoffs. Matt Nagy, I think he knows he's out. He's kind of saying, I'm coaching these last two games. Nobody's told me differently, but I think we all know he's out next season. Winning against the Giants isn't going to save your job. Not making the playoffs isn't going to save your job. Letting Nick Foles get a win or two here down the stretch isn't going to save your job. So we're watching Matt Nagy be desperate. So Matt Nagy desperation. Y'all think that's a good thing or bad game or a bad thing? Good thing, bad thing. I'll let y'all, use your money wisely on that. I won't. I will use my money wisely by staying away from this matchup. All right, then we get the Falcons at the Bills, and this is an easy game here for the Bills to win. Great win last week against the Patriots and all that. Bills at home, wanting to, win the division, seal it up. A win here truly does that. Beating the Falcons, they can maybe make a run for the playoffs. They need to win out and a lot of help, obviously, and we don't see that happening. Matt Ryan can't even, beat the Lions convincingly, folks. So obviously they're not going to be even competitive here against the Bills. Bills at home, all that. We're going to call this one Bills -14.5 at home. No chance here for this Falcons team. All right, then we get the Texans at the 49ers. And once again, we watched this Texans team and Davis Mills in our film study yesterday on the show, and we just really weren't. It was good. It was still some good throws and all that by Davis Mills, but everything was a little bit wide open, dink and dunk that broke big. Nothing, real tight windows that he was consistently slinging the ball into. The biggest kind of green flag and takeaway that we had on Davis Mills' performance of last week was really just how comfortable he felt in the pocket. Like he wasn't having, crazy legs and Jimmy legs in the pocket, didn't feel uncomfortable, stayed strong in there, even when it kind of looked like maybe the pocket was breaking, but it really wasn't. He wasn't having that happy feet. So that was the biggest takeaway for me. He had a nice kind of a couple of deep balls there in that game as well that we give him credit for. Now, this 49ers team is starting Trey Lance this week, so we're really not going to be able to truly interpret the value on how much they respect Davis Mills. I guess we can to see if, the 49ers like -14 with Trey Lance. That'd be a little disrespectful to the Texans and Davis Mills. We haven't really seen We have not seen Trey Lance this season. It's all been Jimmy G, so we're really not sure how he's going to look. Kyle Shanahan is saying he's looking good and all that. Big game here for the 49ers to try and get that playoff spot, to lock it up and all that. They're the ones that, this 49ers team is right in the mix of the NFC trying to make the playoffs. This 49ers defense is going to have to carry them, and we'll see what Trey Lance can really do out here. So with Trey Lance starting, we're going to call this one 49ers -6.5, relying on the defense under that 7-point hook. We'll see what Vegas puts it at. All right, then we get the Broncos at the Chargers, and once again, they're probably maybe going with Drew Lock this week. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater gets the nod, but for this Broncos team, playoffs are truly kind of out of the picture now. You're really going to need probably 10 wins to get in the AFC playoff picture, and I don't see this. Well, this Broncos team, they can't. They've only got 7 wins, so not great here for the Broncos. Basically over. This Chargers team must win the game to try and, keep their playoff positioning and fight for one of those wild card spots, and obviously to erase the embarrassing loss last week of losing against the Texans. So we'll see what Brandon Staley can do. We'll see if Justin Herbert can shake it all off here. We'll call this one Chargers -6.5 here at home. Brandon Staley, you are coaching to, not really for your life, but you're kind of coaching for your off-season narrative life, if we want to call it that. The narratives in the off-season. Everybody's going to go back to every single 4th down call, seeing how it impacted the overall outcome outcome of the game, and any games that they lost in, they're going to be like, well, they could have got one win here and here. That would have put them at 10, 11 wins. They would have made the playoffs and all that. But Brandon Staley's aggressive decision-making year one could come back to haunt them if they don't make the playoffs. So for Brandon Staley's sake in the offseason, you better hope you can win out and somehow manage a playoff spot. It's going to be tough. You need a little bit of help, but you must win this game. We'll call this one Chargers -6.5. And when I say, the media will, be digging into Brandon Staley's decision-making, that's us, folks. It's me. We'll do that all off-season. Every day, we'll come up with a new fourth down call, seeing how it impacted the game, and we'll be like, hey, you could have had 10, 11 wins right here. Could have got in the playoffs, but you wanted to be a little bit aggressive, a little bit greedy for no reason. So, Brandon Staley, we'll come at you. We'll come for you. We're still kind of, we are kind of flip-flopping on Brandon Staley. I don't know how it's all going to shake out here, if we truly love the aggressiveness or not, but something that's going to help us make our decision, our final decision on the season, if we like Brandon Staley being aggressive or not, is if they make the playoffs or not. So, Brandon Staley, you still got a coach here, and we'll see if you can get in the playoffs. All right, next matchup up here, we get the Panthers at the Saints, and maybe I'll throw this out there, folks. I'm just throwing this out there, folks. We I can see a certain circumstance where we may, folks, very small, folks, but if I'm getting like 20 plus points with the Panthers, we may call that good value. May, because they're going against the Saints here. And which quarterback are they going with, folks? I mean, is Taysom Hill going to be back? Because obviously you can't go with Ian Brook because that man has PTSD from last week. So what are their quarterbacks looking like? Jameis Winston's still on the IR, so obviously he's not coming back. What do we got for these other two quarterbacks? They are good to go. They're no longer on the injury report for the COVID-19, so no more Ian Brook. So the Saints offense is going to be back to being okay. It was never great, even with Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill, whoever it is. But we get Panthers with Cam Newton and Sam Darnold. We know how that plays out, folks. We watched the highlight tape from last week of the Panthers, and Cam Newton had one highlight, Sam Darnold had one highlight, and the kicker had two. So, I mean, if you want to just rely on your kicker winning you the game here, it might be tough. We know the Saints defense steps up for like division opponents, and, here we are. So Panthers at Saints here. We're going to call this one Saints -13.5 here against the Panthers, and we'll see what Vegas puts the line at. All right, last four games. Got to finish these up quickly here. Lions at the Seahawks. Lions are trash. Seahawks are also trash, but Seahawks are at home. We'll call this one Seahawks -5. They can't make the playoffs. None of these teams can make the playoffs. Only playing for pride, and we'll see what Russell Wilson plays like here. Is he going to kind of not give it 100% effort? That kind of tells us he may be leaving this offseason, or does he kind of go 100% beast mode to kind of get everything right for next season, meaning he's going to stay next year? So we'll kind of use these last 2 weeks for Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to see if we get any gauge on early decision making of next season of where to play. So we'll call this one Seahawks -5. Then we get the Cardinals at the Cowboys, and this is a must compete game for the Cardinals. I would say must win, but they've earned enough clout in the first half of the season where this isn't a do or die win game, but it is competitive. Like, I don't even want it to be like a 7-point one possession loss. Like, it's got to be if it's going to be one possession, it's got to be 3 or less points here by this Cardinals team. Cardinals on the road against the Cowboys. We know the Cowboys defense is fantastic. The Cowboys offense got right last week. We're not 100% buying into the Cowboys offense. We're at about like 70% buying into this Cowboys offense. Obviously playing good against the Cardinals this week offensively will definitely, increase that percentage points of how much we buy into the Cowboys offense here. But really the big story is on this Cardinals team floundering against teams that they need to beat. Colts, Rams, you need to beat those teams. These are playoff teams. Cowboys are a playoff team. Cardinals must start beating these teams down the stretch. We care, but not really that much anymore, that you beat the good teams, playoff teams early on on in the season, but I mean, everything is shored up now. Teams are showing if they are true contenders or pretenders. I mean, if you're not good at the end of the season, you're not a good team. You've had all year to kind of get right, to learn the playbook for the chemistry and all that, and every team has done that, and every team is getting better as the season progresses. So if you're getting worse, that tells you all you need to know about a team. So Cardinals, a must here. I'm just going to put this one on the spread line because I believe these two teams are very, very close and very, very good and similar to each other. We'll call this one Cowboys -3 just on the spread line. All right, then we get the Sunday night game, Vikings at the Packers. You know, Aaron Rodgers a little banged up, but still getting it done, and the Vikings losing games. But overall, this should be like a one-possession game, so if we get like plus 7.5 points here with the Vikings, I think it's great value overall. I don't think the Vikings win, but we know the Packers don't win big game. They don't win in blowout fashion. I think they blew out maybe 2 teams so far this season. Everything else is real close. Even last week with Baker Mayfield throwing 3 interceptions, almost threw 5 interceptions or 6+, and they only win by 2 points. It's like this Packers team doesn't blow anybody out. Now, they're a scrappy team. They get the wins, which is still impressive, and we still count this Packers team as Super Bowl contenders and all that. But for the spread and all that betting, it's not the greatest value swallowing the points with the Packers. So we'll call this one Packers -5, and overall, it's not good value. We'd probably stay away from it. That brings us to the Monday night game, Browns at the Steelers. Big Ben is done. He's finito. He's finished. This whole Steelers offense is finished. Browns defense most likely wins the game single-handedly, but Baker Mayfield still needs to prove something here. Try to get into the playoffs with 9 wins is going to be tough. Kevin Stefanski still needs to kind of show that he can coach offensively and scheme offensively for the Browns to have success. So overall, and all that being said, we'll call this one Browns -3 on the road here. Actually, I'm going to bump it up to Browns -5. This Steelers offense is so awful. It's off. It's the worst offense in the league. I take the Lions offense over it. I even take Trevor Lawrence, who's one of the unclutchest quarterbacks in the league. I take that Jaguars offense over the Steelers offense, folks. It's just nothing good. Well, maybe I take that back. The Steelers have Najee Harris. Okay, I don't go that far. Steelers is the second worst offense in the league. Jags still hold that crown. And Najee Harris is the only thing that's saving Big Ben from being the worst offense in the league. So thank the rookie, Ben. Thank the rookie. Alrighty, now that we have all the lines predicted here, let's see where our thinking is. Are we right on par? Are we way off? And where the hell is that disrespectful value? Because we know it's somewhere, folks. It's either going to be with the Dolphins. It's either going to be with the Dolphins, disrespectful potentially. Bengals may even be disrespectful. Maybe Vegas is over or not valuing what Joe Burrow did last week. Maybe 49ers I don't think will be disrespectful value anymore. So there are Cardinals, Cowboys may, Vikings, Packers may. We'll see. We'll leave it at that. Let's see where the disrespectful value is. Hopefully we can get some this week. Love eating up that disrespectful value. Alrighty, here we go. Lines are up to date. We've predicted every line, so let's see where our thinking is compared to Vegas. So here we go. First matchup up, Eagles at Washington. We predicted this line at Eagles -5.5, and it's only Eagles -3.5, so better value than we were overall thinking. Still kind of getting a little bit of a hook here, winning by a field goal. That would have been great. Eagles -3, but Eagles -3.5. I think I'll feel fine swallowing that extra half a point. Loving this Eagles team. Really want to see them be consistent here down the stretch. They were last week. I expect them to do the same here this week. Nick Sirianni got to start kind of getting into kind of big pressure-filled games, which is great here because it's division opponent on the road. Got to get right for that playoff, first playoff potentially here for Jalen Hurts and obviously for Nick Sirianni as a head coach. So big emphasis on how Nick Sirianni kind of handles these next 2 weeks, but I think he can truly get it done. Nick Sirianni for Coach of the Year, if this Eagles team can get into the playoffs, will be the main voice for that. So a little bit off, but better value than what we were thinking, so we obviously love that. So Eagles -3.5 is the spread. All right, then we get the Bucs at the Jets here. We predicted this line at Bucks minus 16.5, our pick, but Bucks minus 12 if they're kind of going on their same thinking from last week. So the spread is, Bucks minus 12.5. So, okay. I don't know why Vegas isn't going crazy on this Bucks team. The defense is good. The offense has got Tom Brady. But these spreads are low. Aren't these spreads a little bit low here these last 2 weeks? Bucks minus 11 last week against Panthers. Bucks minus 12.5. I get they're at home, but I think these are still a little small here for given the disparity between Super Bowl defending champions and bottom of the barrel garbage team Bucks Jets. So Bucks minus 12.5 may be solid value. This may be one of our picks. We took the Bucks minus 11 last week because it was against the Panthers, and y'all know we cashed out on that. No question. Easy peasy. So Bucks minus 12.5, solid value. I think that's solid, decent value for swallowing a lot of points. All right, here we go. Next game up here. Dolphins at the Titans. We predicted this line at Dolphins minus 2.5, and there it is. Dolphins plus 3.5. Any points you get with the Dolphins is great value. Spoiler alert, lock of the week. Dolphins plus 3.5. Boom, 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 right there. I'm giving you free money early on in the week, folks. Get it before y'all drive down the value. Y'all bet with us all the time. You know how many times we talk, hey, this is great value. You need to take this right now. Take it right now. And then the value drops a half a point, a full point. I know y'all listen to the show, folks. I know y'all listen live. So Dolphins plus 3.5. Vegas is saying on a neutral field the Titans are still better. Come on, we know that's clownish. Who's going to start respecting this Dolphins defense? Who's going to start respecting this Dolphins team just in general? I mean, if y'all don't want to, that's fine. We will continue to make money. I mean, we're not. I'm just trying to pass on the savings to y'all, folks. I want to bankrupt Vegas. I don't want to bankrupt y'all. I'm trying to help y'all and bankrupt Vegas collectively. But I see how y'all bet, and we won't get into that. But Dolphins plus 3.5, great value. The defense can get it done. Take Tua out of it, folks. Whenever you bet the Dolphins, just take Tua out of it. You're telling me this Dolphins defense can't shut down Ryan Tannehill, folks? There's a stat. Let me see if I saved it on my tweets. I believe I did because I wanted to talk about it. We just have not had time to bring up the stat here. Let me see if I can get it here. Here we go. The Dolphins lead the NFL with 45 sacks. Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill is second in the NFL, being sacked 45 times. I mean, there it is. Just take that. Defense to the offense. Dolphins defense to the Titans offense. That's all you need to know. And if you think the Dolphins defense is going to obliterate the Titans offense, then you have your answer. Take the points. You're getting 3.5 right there. That's great value. Titans win by field goal. You still win the bet. That's great value over the half a point hook there. That is absolutely fantastic value. Bet that right now. Lock it in right now. It's fantastic. Dolphins plus 3.5. Alrighty, next matchup up here, Jags at the Patriots. We predicted this one at Patriots minus 10, and it's Patriots minus 16. So obviously they're going to obliterate the Jaguars. But once again, going back to this Buck spread, why is the Patriots minus 16 and the Bucks minus only 12.5? I guess you add the extra 3 to the Bucks for being at home. They're at 15, minus 15.5, and Patriots are minus 16.5. So I guess it does make sense in that part. But I still want Bucks minus 16.5. Be disrespectful at some points. Respectfully disrespectful. Vegas, not your regular disrespect. All right, so Patriots minus 16, yeah, that's fine. All right, here we go. Colts, my next matchup up here. We predicted Raiders at Colts. We predicted this line two ways. Here we go. With Carson Wentz playing, we called it minus 8. Without Carson Wentz playing, we called it minus 5.5. And it's Colts minus 7. So a little sandwiched in between, but minus 7 is closer to minus 8. Then minus 7 is closer to minus 5.5 here. So, I think Vegas is kind of siding a little bit with that. Carson Wentz will be able to test positive on Sunday game day to go to play this week. So Colts minus 7, solid value right here because this Colts defense can get it done regardless of which quarterback is playing. All right, then we get the Chiefs at the Bengals. We predicted this line at Chiefs minus 1, and it's Chiefs minus 5. Wow, Vegas is giving no love and credit to what Joe Burrow did last week. Once again, don't fall in love with the number. That's why we take the stats with the film every week on the show, folks. We do everything for a reason. Yes, that stat line was phenomenal. The best descriptive word that you can think of. That's what Joe Burrow did last week. I get it. But once again, everything was wide open. That Ravens defense was trash. This Chiefs defense is obviously a little bit better, but to call it Bengals +5 at home. I think that's a little disrespectful. Maybe a little bit of a sucker bet as well. I don't want to get suckered into taking the Bengals +5, and then everybody makes fun of me, just kind of off the rip, be like, oh, you took the Bengals because Joe Burrow threw 500 yards. Did you watch the film? I'll be like, yes, I did watch the film. I told y'all to watch the film. We watched the film. We told y'all about the film. What are you, crazy? So I don't know where I'm going to go with this one. I got to definitely sleep on this one. We make our official picks tomorrow on the show, live noon Eastern, twitch.tv/takesbyfans, takesbyfans.com/watch, YouTube takesbyfans, wherever you want to get it. But Bengals +5, we're going to have to sleep on this one. We will have to sleep on that one, absolutely. All right, here we go. Next matchup up, Giants at the Bears. Got to go a little bit quicker here, so we're going to ramp it up a little bit. Giants at the Bears. We predicted this one at Bears -3, and it's Bears -5.5. So Vegas is valuing Matt Nagy's offense versus Freddie Kitchens' offense. Both those offenses are trash to me. I stay away from this game. Now we get the Falcons at the Bills. Once again, Bills should be able to destroy this one. We call this one Bills -14.5. And whoa, right near the money right here. Bills -14. We went a little disrespectful with that extra kind of half a point hook, 3 possessions. Vegas doesn't see it that way. Okay. Bills -14. Then we get the Rams at the Ravens. We predicted this line at Rams -6.5, and it's Rams -3.5. So a little interesting here. Is Vegas assuming Lamar Jackson's going to play here? Ravens +3.5 at home? I don't know, folks. I don't know if I could bet the Ravens here. I don't know if I'm going to swallow the 3.5 here for the Rams this week, but I don't think there's any way I can bet on this Ravens offense at the current moment. But on the other hand, Tyler Huntley still keeps it close. Almost won that game he started. This Ravens team always are in the game, even with Lamar Jackson throwing interceptions, throwing pick sixes. They are always in the game and even win the game. So we'll see how much Lamar Jackson kind of provides that kind of winning edge to this Ravens team. We'll see. So Rams -3.5, Ravens +3.5. Then we get the Texans at the 49ers. We'll see what this one is. How much respect is Vegas giving Trey Lance? We'll see. Here we go. We predicted this line at 49ers -6.5, and it is 49ers -12. Wow. No respect here by Davis Mills, and now I think this is great value, and I definitely think we could take this +12 here by the Texans. Are we supposed to just bet on Trey Lance just like that? I understand, folks. We weren't 100% buying into Davis Mills yesterday when we did our film study, but now that we know that Trey Lance is going, and we get 12 here, we've seen rookie quarterbacks start the season and not really get better. Davis Mills started the season for the most part, got benched, and came out better. He was able to learn while taking a backseat look after getting thrown out there. Trey Lance hasn't really been able to do that. Texans +12, folks. I think this is going to be back-to-back weeks taking points with the Texans. Call us crazy, but we've been kind of championing this Texans team from the start, folks. So Texans +12, folks. I think it may be on our parlays again. We'll see. Got to come back tomorrow for our official picks. All right, here we go. Broncos at the Chargers. Next matchup up here. We predicted this line at Chargers -6.5, and there it is. Bango, right on the money. Chargers -6.5. Love it here. Woof, right on the money. I think I can swallow that and feel good. Chargers win by a touchdown, win the bet. I definitely think they can get it done. They must win this game and win in dominant fashion to, cleanse their mouth of, that bad performance, that bad loss. That's a bad beat last week by the Chargers. So right on the money there. Fantastic. All right, next value up here. We'll see. Do we take the Panthers here? Is the value right? Can we come on down? Is the price right? We'll see. Here we go. Panthers at the Saints. We predicted this line at Saints -13.5, and we only want to take the Panthers at kind of +20 points. We'll see. Here we go. Line is Saints -6.5, so of course we're not going to. 6.5 points. Are you kidding me, folks? That's nowhere near enough. We need 3 times that. Give me 21 points, and I will take the Panthers. Saints -6.5. Spoiler alert, we bet the Saints this week. I'll give you a free one in case you can't come back tomorrow for the show. Saints -6.5. Of course we're taking that. What are you, crazy? All right, then we get the Lions at the Seahawks. We predicted this line at Seahawks -5 and the Seahawks -7. All righty. Lions +7 may be the sneaky value. I think I might take that. That's really interesting to me, appetizing to me, and I'll see if I feel the same way tomorrow. All right, here we go. Cardinals at the Cowboys next up here. We call this one just right on the spread line. Cowboys -3, and they call it Cowboys -6. So, wow, Vegas is truly, I think, done with the Cardinals, calling it Cowboys -6 here. Wow, oh wow. Big game here for the Cardinals. Solid value there if you think the Cardinals can be competitive in this game. We'll see how we feel tomorrow. Man, oh man, some of these spreads, folks, are really appetizing. And I think Vegas, I feel like Vegas is trying to do a sucker bet. Hey, take the 6 with the Cardinals. That's great value, and then they get blown out. I think they're doing the same thing with the Bengals at +5. So there's some bets that are potential landmines here that could blow up in our face that seem like good value. So you definitely got to tune into the show tomorrow. I've got to dissect these values a little bit more to see if these are good or, trap bets by Vegas. Man, oh man, this is going to be a long night by me to truly dig into these numbers. Man, oh man. Alrighty, then we get the Sunday night game. Vikings at the Packers. We call this one Packers -5, and it's Packers -7 right on that 7-point hook. So no way you take this game either way. Packers don't win by more than one possession. Vikings beef it at the end. It could get crazy. No great value there right on that 7-point line. And then the Monday night game, Browns at the Steelers. We predicted this line at Browns -3.5, and it's Browns -3.5. Bingo. So we've been on the money twice. Exactly on the money, and hovering right around the money like 3 or 4 other times. So our thinking is right on par. Back end of the season, final 2 weeks, that's exactly where we want it to be, knowing that we've been able to learn and reason and see what the hell is happening and see how Vegas works the entire season, and now this is where we make a lot of money. 1 second, folks. Hello?
Yes, Nick, I want to let you know that Brown Square is set up.
Okay.
Did you ever come back for that rock style and the other one?
Yeah, yep, they're delivered.
Oh, I couldn't remember for you. Okay, cool. Well, then we're all fixed. The Brown Square.
All right, copy.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, bye. All right. So we're going to see. I lost my train of thought. What was it? We're right on par. That's exactly where we want to be. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, come back tomorrow, live noon Eastern. We'll make our official picks, breaking down, sleeping on these spreads one more time here. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We got to get out of here, folks. Have a great one. Unfortunately, no football on tonight, NFL, but still college and basketball. So make a little bit of money with our basketball picks. And then come back tomorrow once, hey, this dude knows what he's talking about. We just hit on NBA. You come back for the NFL and make a little bit more money as well. Alrighty, folks, we are out of here. Have a great one, and we will see you tomorrow, noon Eastern, again, for our official picks.